This one is so pretty. This one brings me so much joy. So this is Fam. Welcome back, everyone. Today's video is such an exciting one. I have shared that I am doing a new collaboration with Ofra Cosmetics, and we are coming out with 3 more lip glosses. And this collection is so special to me because, you know, it has my name on it and I'm sharing this video with you, but this was not just me coming up with these glosses and everything behind the collection. This collection is really dedicated to 2 of my best friends, Ashley and Katie. They helped me work on the collection. They helped the behind the scenes of the collection, and they each have a gloss that they helped me work on that is dedicated to them. So this collection, to me, I'm going to jump into obviously the 3 glosses that we came out with. I will put them on for you, swatch them for you, talk about the process of doing a collaboration like this, and also why we named it For the Plot, why we named the glosses the individual names that they are. But I'm so excited because the collection is available today, April 7th at ofracosmetics.com. You can purchase the glosses individually or you can purchase them as a trio. My past collections are still available there as well. I have 3 other glosses that I've done in the past. I have a liquid lipstick that I've done with them, bronzer, blush. We have an eye and face palette that is available on the Ofra Cosmetics website. And I'm just so excited for this collection, especially because it was so special to be able to work on it with my friends. For me, there's a bit of a deeper meaning behind just coming out with a makeup product or coming out with a lip gloss that I really want to be able to share with you, because I hope that you find the story inspiring in some way. But I hope that you will check out the glosses. They will be linked in my description box. You can use my affiliate code on these, which is just Samantha. So if you want to save a little bit of money on the collection, you can do that also. But let me jump into the story behind the glosses and how we got here. So before we jump into the swatches, I did want to share just a little bit about the collection, because the collection trio of the glosses is called For the Plot. And some of you might be wondering, what in the world does For the Plot stand for? So rewinding back when I first got asked if I wanted to do more glosses with Ofra, I was really excited about it because the glosses that we came out with in the past were so well received. And I still get so many comments and DMs from people saying, you love your queen gloss, you wore Millie out on a date night, how much you love Peony. And it makes me so happy. The glosses that I came out with were not only so fun to work on, but each, you know, think kind of behind them. You know, Millie was named after my grandmother. Queen was named after my dog, who's now passed away. So they were so special and so personal to me. So to know that they were so well received, people are still wearing them, people are still repurchasing, using them up, repurchasing them, it makes me so happy. So when I was thinking about glosses again, and I was thinking about a collaboration, to me, it was really important to bring in the important people in my life. I don't want to bore anybody with a backstory, and some of you who are watching, you probably already know this about me, but in 2021, I moved from Iowa to Las Vegas. I got a divorce from my partner of 15 years, and I left the only state that I ever knew and moved to Las Vegas, just me and my dog. I do feel like that was a very For the Plot type of moment. Out of anywhere that I could have chose, I chose Las Vegas. And within the first year of being here, I met my friends Ashley and Katie. They had both recently moved to Las Vegas as well from their respective hometowns, and they each had different reasons for why they were here. The 3 of us all had very different reasons of why we ended up in Las Vegas, how we ended up in the same apartment complex, which is where we met each other. And we all 3 have very different backgrounds. We are not really alike in any sort of way. And it's so funny to me because, especially as I was getting closer with my friend Ashley, I was like, we have nothing in common. Like, how are we friends? There was still something that bonded the 3 of us together. And now, years later, I can say that these 2 women are some of the most important people in my life. And they are also some of the most supportive and understanding women. And when I talk about leaving Iowa and starting over and how hard that is, I got asked in a recent Q&A that I did on my channel, like, what was one of the scariest things that I've done in life? And I said that it was leaving Iowa, not just getting a divorce, but leaving everything that I knew, leaving a life that I knew, a state that I knew, my family that was there, all of that. That was the hardest thing that I've ever done. And I had no guarantee that moving to especially a place like Las Vegas was going to work out for me. Was I going to hate it? Was I going to feel comfortable here? Was I going to be able to find friends? Was I always going to feel alone? I had no idea. And I told myself, you know, just move there, see if you like it. And if you don't, you can move again. It'll be hard. It'll probably be expensive. It's going to suck to move you and your dog again, but just try it and see if it works for you. And one thing that I think about when people say, you know, move on or start over or next chapter, they say things like, oh, maybe if you start over, you'll meet your person. And typically they're always talking about a romantic partner, right? But when I think about the decision to start over, and I think about the decision to move, I think about meeting. I think that I did move here to meet my people being my friends, Katie and Ashley. It's interesting to me because I've done especially quite a few videos with my friend Ashley, who, it's so funny, out of the two of them, I would have thought Ashley would be more camera shy, but we have so much fun filming together. And even when we do, sometimes it doesn't even feel like we're filming together. It's just, we're just hanging out. There just also happens to be a camera recording us. But when I do those videos, or when I do my short form videos and we have Katie in them as well, I get so many comments from other women talking about how they love watching our friendship. And I also get a lot of comments from women saying, I wish I had a friendship like that. And to me, as someone who, like, yes, I've had, you know, good friendships in the past, close friendships in the past, best friends, I don't know if I've ever experienced a friendship on the level that I have with these two women. And it was why it was so important for me, especially knowing that I was coming out with 3 glosses, that I was like, I have to do something for the 3 of us. It's like my very small way of trying to tell these 2 women, thank you for your friendship. Thank you for your love. Thank you for everything that you've done for me since we've met living in Las Vegas together. I wanted this collection to almost be a reminder of, if you don't want to stay at where you're at in life, you can move to the next chapter. The glosses in the order that they come in, their names are Next Chapter Fam. Next Chapter Fam. And that's what we say to each other. If something's not working out for us, if something, you know, whether it be anything at all, whether it be relationships, whether it be jobs, whether it be, you know, even just like a new hobby that we're trying, it doesn't work out for us, Next Chapter Fam. Move on. And it's something that I've always tried to keep in the back of my head, especially because I'm someone who for a very long time was very comfortable staying settled and was very comfortable not pushing myself. And this collection, to me, it's not that I'm trying to say you should get a divorce or leave your marriage or move to another state or anything along those lines. It literally could be as simple as something like, you've been really trying this new hobby and you don't like it, it's not working out for you, stop, try something different, you know? It doesn't have to be really big life changes that you're making, but this collection, I wanted it to be a reminder of, you can move on, you can move to the next thing, you can go to the next chapter. Just like with one of my previous collections with Ofra Cosmetics, it was called Life's a Draft. Life is a draft and you are the author of it. And if you want to make a plot twist, if you want to do something crazy and blame it on it being for the plot, you can do that. And I go back to the friendship aspect of this. That was something that was really important to me that I wanted to get out with this collection. And it's why I really wanted to bring in the 2 of them to this as well, because they've played such a huge role. And going back to the comments that I get about wishing you had a friendship like that, or some of you have said, you know, you do have a close friend or 1 or 2 close friends in your life that you think your friendship is similar to the one that I have with Ashley and Katie. I never thought moving to Las Vegas would bring me friendships that I didn't realize were missing in my life. And it's been, you know, obviously moving here, there's been a lot of opportunities. There's been so many fun things that have come into my life since moving to this city. I've been inspired by so many people. I've met so many new people. I've done some really cool things. So just last week I was at an F1 immersive experience thinking, how in the world did I get here? I'm just a girl from Iowa. Like, how did I get invited to things like this? And to me, it was just that reminder of, you don't know what will happen when you take a chance on yourself. And you don't know the people that will come across your life that will change your life for the better when you decide to take a chance on yourself. So the theme of this collection is definitely friendship, is definitely believing in yourself, taking that risk. There's a nod to Vegas in here because the city has really brought so much into my life. And when I say things like taking a risk on yourself, you know, it kind of reminds me of like take a risk on, you know, blackjack, or what's that game with the wheel, the roulette game. The roulette game, you know, you put it all on black or red or whatever it may be. When you're making, especially in my case, a big decision in life, you're you're going all in on yourself, right? Like you're putting all the chips in on yourself. And through hard work, determination, bravery, all of those things, your life can change for the better. And that includes the people that you bring into your life. And that is why I wanted this collection to be not only just my collection, but to give a nod to the city that accepted me and a place that has made me feel at home when I was starting over. And a nod to two of the women who have seen me, supported me, accepted me, and been there through so many different phases as I've lived in Las Vegas. Their unwavering support and friendship has meant so much to me. And this collection to me is kind of a continuation from my last collection with Ofra Cosmetics, the Life's a Draft collection. And that collaboration released right at the time that I was moving, right at the time that I was announcing that I was getting a divorce. We actually had to go back and change some of the products and some of the names and some of the images, because when we were initially making that collection, I wasn't sure yet if I was going to be getting divorced, and I had things in there that were a nod to my wedding and a nod to my partner and a nod to that part of my life. So we were actually kind of scrambling last minute trying to change a few things. So that collection released in 2021, and it was kind of like a life's a draft. I'm going to be writing this new story. And now we've gone into this collection and it's like, here's the story. Here's what has happened all these years later. This collection is releasing on April 7th. 2025. I moved to Las Vegas April 17th of 2021. So this collection feels incredibly full circle to me, and one that I am incredibly proud of. I know in the grand scheme of things, it's makeup and it's 3 lip glosses that I'm talking about, but to me, it has a much bigger significance. So when I say I hope that this collection inspires you, I hope if you buy 1, 2, 3 of the glosses, I hope when you put it on, those are some of the things that you think of. I hope that it motivates you, whether it's a big change or a small change that you want to make into your life. You know, I talk about healthy habits a lot, and whether it's adding in a healthy habit, whether it's picking up a book about finance, whether it's deciding you're going to do that hard thing that you've been wanting to do, but you've been, you know, kind of afraid to do it. I hope that's what this collection does for you, because that was the whole concept when I was thinking about everything. That was what I wanted to evoke with this new collaboration. So that is a little bit about the collection. I do want to go into the swatches of all of the glosses. I'll swatch them without lip liner. I'll swatch them with lip liner, hands, lips, all the things, so you can see the glosses. And then I have just a few final words before we wrap up this special video that I'm trying not to cry through. So first up is going to be the shade Next. Again, this one being for Katie. This one is pretty sheer. I do feel like in the tube, it actually kind of like matches my dress. I think it looks more peachy salmony, but when you actually apply it, it's a very kind of like milky gloss. Has a little bit of that like sheer pink tinge to it, and then a bunch of shimmer in here. The thing that I like about the shimmer is that it's not gritty. Like you're not gonna feel it when you press your lips together. And that is what I like in a gloss, something that just makes the lips super shiny, look more plump, fuller. So this one is the shade Next. So I think that there's a lot of different lip liners that you can apply it with. I'm first gonna go in with no lip liner so you can see what it looks like just by itself. But I am I'm a lip liner girl, so it is hard for me to do any lip product without putting a lip liner on. So this here is Next. You can see again that very like milky, pale shade, a lot of shimmer to it, a lot of shine to this one. I think this one is so pretty, and this one is very versatile. And I think one of the reasons I like lip liners so much is I feel like you can really, like you can pair this with a darker one, a lighter one, more mauve, more pink, more nude, and it's just gonna lay beautifully on top of whatever it is that you choose. For today, I'm going to use my Colourpop Westwood lip liner. These are the So Juicy lip liners. I also love these lip liners. I think that they're great. I really enjoy to pair this one with Chapter as well. I think it's so pretty. But again, I do think Next is such a versatile shade that you can really do a lot of different color combinations with this. So I like to overlay my lips, fill them in a bit. You can see it's a beautiful mauve lip liner. I'm gonna add Next right on top, and it gives it that beautiful like little sparkle to the lips. This one is so pretty. This one is so pretty. I think that this, I mean, hopefully they're all popular, but I do think that this one will be a pretty popular one because I do think that it's really versatile. I mean, wearing it alone, wearing it with different lip liners, putting it on top of different lipsticks. This was the first one that we approved in the trio, and I think that's beautiful. The second shade I'm gonna swatch is Chapter. This was the one for me. And I just knew when we first started talking about this, I knew I wanted a gloss and I knew I wanted to name it Chapter. Like, that is what I knew that I wanted. This one is our mauve. This one has the most, like, I think even just looking at the tubes, maybe Next, but I feel like you can tell that this one has the most amount of shimmer to it. I said I want it mauve and super shimmery. And again, it's not that it's like glitter on your lips, but it just makes them so pretty. Again, I'm someone who like, I need lip liner, but I think that this looks so pretty. This and Fam, I don't think you actually have to use lip liner. Well, you don't have to use lip liner with anything, okay? But for me, in my eyes, these are the two that I'm like, oh, these just already look so good on their own. Oh, Chapter made me so happy. This was the last one that we approved. I literally had a FaceTime phone call where I was yelling, more mauve, more mauve. My lip liner for this one, I'm going to use the new City Beauty lip liner. This one is in Blush, and this was in my Shop My Stash as well. Again, kind of fill in the lips. Again, with Chapter, I've worn this with so many different lip liners. You don't have to feel like boxed into only having a mauve lip liner. It's been beautiful with anything that I've paired it with. We're gonna add that right on top of Blush. This one, this one just makes me so happy. It's the one that I wear the most from this particular collection. I feel like for my first collection, like Millie was the one that I was wearing the most. Definitely out of this one for me, it's Chapter. I just think that it goes with like literally everything. It's so pretty. I think it goes like just any eye look, any lip liner. Like, I know that I love mauve, but I know a lot of you do too. And I hope that you like Chapter. I hope that you love how like sparkly it is, and just, this one brings me so much joy. All right, and then lastly, we have the shade Fam. This is the darkest shade from the collection. So again, applying it with no lip liner first. Now with this one, we were trying to make a red because Ashley does love wearing a red lip, but a red gloss is very, very hard to make. And it kept being like too pink, and then we couldn't get the exact right red, but we finally got this little bit of the darker, we were calling it kind of like the spicy shade, and I thought that it went really well with the collection, and Ashley approved it, so I was happy with it as well. So again, this is going to be the darkest gloss in the collection. I think this pairs really well. You could even do it with a red lip liner. We've done that before, or just some of the darker lip liners. Like, I'm going to do it with the Love Trap from Charlotte Tilbury. But we wanted to name this one Fam because Ashley, we call her mom, and she's definitely like the, I'm going to say the mother penguin of our group, not the mother hen. She's the mother penguin of our group. She keeps me and Katie in line. She, you know, sometimes will look at us from afar like, she knows we're making wrong decisions, but she knows we're doing it for the plot, and then that we're gonna learn something from it, and she's gonna let us make our own mistake. Just like my mom did, and then continues to support. Ashley kinda is the same way. So Fam just seemed like the perfect shade name to have for her, and it just made so much sense in the trio of Next Chapter Fam. And I'm so excited. I get so happy every time I see her wearing this gloss. It brings me so much joy. But let me show you what it looks like with the lip liner. Like I said, I'm going to be using Love Trap from Charlotte Tilbury. Okay. And then adding Fam on top. Oh, it's so funny because every time I put one on, I want to be like, this one makes me so happy. But I'm like, they all make me so happy. This one is like juicy, spicy. I love the shimmer too. Like, these are not considered plumping glosses. I do want to say that. They don't have like a tingly feel to them, but because of the shimmer that they have in them, they look like they plump up the lips a little bit more, but without it being that like plumpy, tingling, like uncomfortable gloss, because I do not love those. But I also wanted to do swatch here. So this is Fam. So those are the swatches of Next Chapter Fam and the For the Plot glosses from Ofra Cosmetics. And just a few last things that I wanted to say about the collection. When it comes to the shade Next, the one that was made for Katie, when I think about Katie, she is someone of who I met in 2021 as a completely different person of who she is now in 2025. She is someone who definitely had her own Next Chapter Fam moment, not only when her like initial move to Las Vegas, but then being here and being her friend and going through something with her. And she is someone who inspires me so much because I saw her at a low time. I mean, the three of us have all seen each other at our low times. I saw her at a low time, supported her through the low time, and then I watched her pick herself up, dust herself off, and quite literally say, Next Chapter Fam. And the work that she has done, the work that she has put into herself, her mind, her work ethic when it comes to going to the gym. I mean, I feel like I'm on top of my fitness, not compared to Katie. She's so inspiring in that way of always now pushing herself and seeing how far that she can go. She is so smart. She is so creative. And she is so dedicated to not only her family. I see her relationships with her family, but also her Vegas family. And I am in awe of her. And she is one of my favorite people. And she is someone who I'm so close to. We call each other sisters now. And this collection would not be the same if Katie was not a part of it. When it comes to the shade Chapter, the one that I was working on, I really wanted a lip gloss that was similar to the Story liquid lipstick that I originally put out with Ofra. There was a time in life where I loved liquid lips. It was actually one of the ways that I found Ofra Cosmetics initially, was because their liquid lipsticks were so popular. And it's funny too, because at the time I didn't like lip gloss at all. Like, I can remember a YouTube video where I just like went on a rant about how people who love lip gloss are weird. And now for the past several years, that is what I've worn. I love me my lip glosses now. To me, it's just like not having lip gloss around is crazy to me. So I really wanted to make something, because even though I still love the shade of Story, I just don't wear liquid lipsticks anymore. So having a mauve gloss was so important to me. And I wanted to name it Chapter because I'm also a published author of 9 novels. My 10th one will be out this year. And again, Story Chapter, I felt like they made sense. And then also just in our tagline, things that we say to each other, we're moving on, going to the next chapter, fam, you know, flipping the pages, all of those things. Chapter just was the perfect gloss shade that I could come up with, and I love the mauve so much. But again, I feel like this collection is not really just about me or what I wanted. When we come to the shade Fam, Ashley is one of the most supportive humans that I have ever met. Ashley is someone who I can just say in passing, yeah, I need to film this week, but I'm not sure what I should film. And she will sit down and have a 30-minute conversation with me of, well, what are you thinking of? What's going on right now? Do you like any new products? What about this one? She will send me screenshots of her notes app that she's come up with ideas for me, for video ideas, for YouTube videos, for short form videos. She'll send me videos and say, I think that we should do this video. I've never really had someone in my real life want to brainstorm video topics with me. I've never had someone be like, oh, you can't think of anything. Why don't the two of us sit down together and just see what happens? I've always kind of been that person of like, oh, my people in my real life don't really support my career because that's separate. But like, they support me in real life, but like my career is separate. It's online. It's a separate identity. And now I kind of think about it and I think, Why have I always separated my personal self with my professional self? My career is my career. My job is my job. I should have people in my life that care about the work that I do, that care about all of the hours that I put into my career. These friendships have shown me what I was really lacking in my life for so long, and the excuses that I would make up for myself. I really told myself for the longest time, it's okay that people in my real life don't support my career. What a crazy thing to say. Like, it's so crazy to me that I let myself think that for such a long time. And I'm so grateful for their friendship. And I'm so grateful, like, my mom, she comments on every single one of my videos. My sister has bought every single one of my collabs. My brother and his wife will always message me when I have exciting things going on in my life. And those are the most important people. My family, the most important people in my life. And now that I have friendships here that I can count as family, who also care about not just my personal life, and they really care and support my career. Again, it's just that reminder of, you never know what will happen when you make changes in your life. You never know what will happen when you go all in on yourself and you make that change. And I'm so grateful to them. I'm so grateful that there was one night that Ashley called me and said, I think I need to talk to somebody. We are two people who have bonded over struggles of mental health, struggles with self-identity, with self-worth. We are two women who can speak to each other candidly on quite literally any topic under the sun. There have been times where I have told Ashley things that I think I'm so embarrassed to say this out loud, and this woman is definitely going to think less of me. And she has never once wavered. Like, there has been times that I quite truly have said things to Ashley that I'm like, she'll never speak to me again, because she'll finally figure out, like, this woman doesn't have her life together. This woman has some crazy thoughts sometimes. I should probably just, like, step away from this friendship. She has never once wavered in her support of me. And it's quite honestly a very overwhelming feeling of knowing that someone has your back like that. Of knowing that someone might not always agree with your choices. And when I say I'm doing this for the plot, she's like, are you sure? Maybe you want to flip to a different page. And I'm like, nope, I'm going to do it. She's like, okay, well, I'm going to support you from the sideline, but this probably isn't going to work out well. Like, and she's still there to catch me when I fall and that I've made my mistakes. I get so many comments of people saying, I wish I had an Ashley in my life. And I wish that you did too, because it is a very special feeling when you have a friendship like that. And when you know that you've worked really hard. Like, these friendships are not friendships that have just come easily. They've been hard. It's just like a relationship when you talk about having to have good communication and almost in a weird way, like making like those little like sacrifices for each other that I know that we all do for one another. There's times where I do things I don't necessarily want to do, but I know it's important for Katie. Or times that I don't really want to do something, but I know Ashley really wants to make this happen and I need to make it happen. And I know they do the same for me. I know they do the same for me. And it's so funny because it's like, it's almost like the glosses are like this tangible thing to be like, look what we got to do together. Look what we got to create. But that's why this collection is so special to me. It's a nod to my friendships. It's a nod to the new city. And it's a nod to starting over. It's a nod for moving on to the next chapter. The glosses are available today on ofracosmetics.com. Like I said, you can purchase them individually at $18 a piece, or if you purchase the trio, it is $29. You can use my discount code Samantha. All my other past collaborations are on there. Bronzers, blushes, palettes, other glosses, the liquid lip. There's a lot available on the Ofra Cosmetics website that I have worked on and I have collabed on. And I would be remiss if I didn't take a moment to also say thank you all so much for your support over the years. It really was because of my online community that I finally found the bravery to make that change in my life. And also, when I released my collaboration in 2020 with Ofra Cosmetics, it also was winning, Skincare Influencer of the Year at the 2019 American Influencer Awards. Following that with my collaboration with Ofra Cosmetics that came out in 2020, those two things, especially being back to back, those are what gave me the courage to make the change, to move on, to say next chapter. I will always be incredibly grateful for my online community who has supported me so much and supported me through so many ups and downs in life. And I sincerely hope that in sharing my journey online, that I have inspired you in some way, motivated you in some way, or got you to make your own change, big or small, in some way, because you have changed my life. I know some people might think this is just supposed to be a video about lip gloss or announcing a makeup collaboration, but to me, this video is so much more than that. It is a love letter to my friends, it is a love letter to my city, and it is my love letter to you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support. Much love. I'll see you in the next one.